If you are looking to start your own business, if you run your own agency or you're thinking of starting your own lead generation agency, then this might be the most valuable video that you watch today. And I'm not joking, because have you ever wondered why some people really succeed in business, succeed quickly, and make a ton of money in a relatively short period of time, while some other people, they go into business, they try to start and build their own business, and they go months without seeing any results. They feel like they might be doing the right things, working hard, doing all of these things, but how come those people just don't really ever win? Why those people don't really succeed? And if they do succeed, why does it take them half a year or a year to actually make money, while there are other people who are able to do it in literally a few weeks or a month or 2 months or whatever the case is? And I will be tackling that in today's video. Because what did the successful people do that the people who were quote unquote less successful, what did they not do, right? So this video is for you if you are looking to start your own business, if you are an entrepreneur, if you run a business right now, or if you are a student or you work a job right now and you're interested in starting a business. And I think I know the answer to why some people are wildly successful and while some people, they struggle along their journey, right? Because again, this might be the most valuable piece of content that you watch today, and I'm literally not joking, because I put this together literally like 30 minutes ago, because I literally came up with this insight. Because in case you don't know who I am, my name is Jimmy Fung, and I run a lead generation agency right now. I make around $50,000 to $60,000 every single month. I started it around a year and a half ago. I started it in October 2022, and I started it and scaled it from zero to $10,000 per month in basically 2 months, in basically 60-ish days. And if you don't believe me, because obviously everyone could say anything they want on the internet, just go and watch another one of my videos on my YouTube channel. I talk about it here and there, but that's kind of not the point of today's video, right? The point is I was on the other side of things, where previous to starting my own lead generation agency, I started a couple other businesses. I started my own marketing agency. I did drop shipping, right? And I did that for a few months and didn't make a single dollar, right? I thought I was doing the right things, just never succeeded. So I understand it from that perspective. And then once I started this business, I saw success in a relative short period of time, right? Again, I scaled from zero to $10,000 per month in literally 2 months. So I see from the other side of things, I knew and I know what I was doing in order to get to that $10,000 per month. And on top of that, over the last few months, I have worked with a bunch of people, almost over 80 plus people now, start their own lead generation agency. So I say this because I've seen a lot of scenarios. I worked with a lot of people, and I'm starting to see a pattern between the people who are wildly successful, people who sign their first few clients, make a ton of money, get to $10,000 per month, and people who just kind of don't, right? But before I give you my answer, here is kind of what other people kind of think, right? And this is kind of what sparked the idea for this video, right? So this is actually the Discord for the community, for the people that I'm personally working with, start their own lead generation agency, right? And I'm not saying this to sell you something. I'm literally showing you this so that you can see that I literally see other people winning, making money, and I'm literally asking them, hey, what are you doing that you feel like you could have done to accelerate your journey, right? So for example, we have Brian, who literally at 10:52 a.m., so right now I'm filming this literally at 1 p.m. today, he signed 2 clients and he billed his existing clients because he got them great results, and he made $7,000 before literally noontime, right? We have Mark, who signed his first clients in a new niche with no case studies, right? So prior to working with me, he was starting and he was building his own lead generation agency for literally 3 months, got no results. He started working with me literally last week, and he signed his first client, right? So he's literally the example of exactly what I'm talking about. We have a few other wins. We have Spencer, who yesterday he signed a contract for $4,000 setup for $300 per call. And the reason why I'm showing this, and this is kind of where I got the inspiration for today's video, is I asked him yesterday, I was like, hey Spencer, if you were to give a piece of advice to yourself when you first started, what might that be? And he literally said 2 things. The first one is don't get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. And the second one is you need to always be testing and learning. Keep testing keep failing, and keep learning again and again, right? And that was a really great piece. That's a really good answer from Spencer. And obviously, you can go and find an interview I did with Spencer, right? Earlier this week, we have Ben, who signed his, who helped his client sign 7 meetings, right? Et cetera, et cetera. There's just a bunch of wins over here, right? We have Sean, who closed the deal, right? These are just some of the wins of people over the last week. And all of these people are starting and scaling their own lead generation agency. And obviously, I could continue scrolling and looking, but that's not the point of today's video. The point is I've worked with a lot of people. I see directly firsthand who makes money, who does it quickly, who signs multiple clients, who makes $10,000 per month. And I literally asked them, hey, why do you think that is? But while reflecting on my own journey, I came up with a couple of different points on why I feel like certain people make it and some people don't. So the first point is the people who actually make money, they actually try this business with full effort. And I think try is not really a good way to explain it, because the word try implies someone is literally testing it, and if they don't like it, they just kind of stop doing it, right? And I think my point of adding this point of people need to do it with full effort is because we grew up in an environment, or at least I know I grew up in an environment where when I was in school, when I was in university a few years ago, so I actually graduated last year, but while I was in university, I was able to kind of just half-ass it and get by. So for example, in my last semester, I was actually building my business, my lead generation agency, while I was in school. But what actually happened was I barely went to class. I think over the course of a semester, which is 4 months long, I went to class maybe like once or twice. And both number for exams. And I literally did the bare minimum. I would skip all the weekly assignments, do all these things. And the only things I did was show up to the exams and do the group projects, because that's what I needed to do to actually pass my course. But my point being is I was able to get by with half-assing, with minimal effort, and I was able to pass with a 50, with a 51, with a 52, because the passing grade is a 50. And I think a lot of people also have this mindset where when they come into business, they're able to just get by with the bare minimum. But what I've realized in business is you can't do that. The people who just quote unquote half-ass it are the people who will just never succeed. And the people that always win, all the people you just saw inside the Discord, they're people who went all in. They're going at it with full effort. They're not half-assing it. They're generally all in, right? So that's the first point I wanted to make. Now, the second point is I think the most important thing is understanding that good things actually take time. Now, obviously, I know from my journey, I was able to scale from 0 to 10K in a relatively short period of time. 2 months, that's really not that long. A lot of the other people inside the Discord, they're able to make money, sign their first client within literally weeks, some even days, right? There are people like, for example, Spencer, who scaled from 0 to 10K in literally 2 months as well. There's multiple other people who have a similar timeline. But my point being is sometimes results happen faster than other times, but that's not really what you should be focusing on, right? You shouldn't really be looking at it from the point of timelines. Obviously, that's a great way to measure if you're actually making meaningful progress. But the best way to look at it is focusing on doing the right things every single day. And that's the absolute key. And I know when I first started my business, I didn't necessarily have this perspective either. But now that I'm on the other side, where my business is literally making tens of thousands of dollars every single month, where I'm not necessarily looking at it from the perspective of, oh, this month I made 51K, I made 53K. I'm looking at it more so on a day-to-day basis. Did I do what I needed to do? Was I productive? Did I do the right inputs that would lead to the outputs of me making money, or me continuously making even more money? So what I mean by that is the best way to look at it, especially in the beginning, because sometimes you might go 45 days with not signing a single client. You might go 2 months, you might go 3 months, you might go even 4 months. It really comes down to what you're doing. But the best things you should be focusing on a day-to-day basis is, number one, focusing on actually developing skills is the best way to look at it, right? Because if you truly believe that the market is neutral, I truly believe that the market is neutral, the market doesn't have bias, right? It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter your gender. None of these things matter, because what I realized is the market just doesn't have bias, and it just rewards people who are the most skilled. So if you look at someone who's making a lot of money, you see all of these people online who are millionaires. The reason why they're millionaires and making millions of dollars every single month, if not years, is because they're highly skilled at whatever it is that they're doing. And as a result, the market rewards them by paying them millions of dollars. Now, on the other side, if someone is going through and building their business and they're just not succeeding and not making money, assuming they're actually doing the right things, what's actually happening is that's the market telling them, giving them a hint that either you're just not that skilled at what you're doing and they have to go back to the drawing board and sharpen up their skills and sharpen up their axe, or they're focusing on the wrong things. That's literally what the market is saying. And that's what I realized. So when I was building my own marketing agency and when I was drop shipping, the reason I didn't make money was quite simply because I just wasn't that skilled. I was, for a lack of better words, I was complete garbage at marketing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, right? I was bad at sales. I was bad at all of these things that are needed in order to actually make money. So that was the market's way of telling me that I needed to go back to the drawing board, do whatever I needed to do to actually get better at the most important skills, because the market is neutral. So again, good things take time, and focusing on skill development is the number one thing. Now, the third thing is there are certain aspects of business which I don't really like doing. So for example, getting in front of the camera and filming videos exactly like this. I don't necessarily enjoy doing it. I don't hate it, but I don't exactly wake up every single day excited with a huge smile on my face, ready to sit in front of the camera and record myself talking. But I understand that if I want to make money, then I will have to do certain things that I don't necessarily enjoy, or things that I don't necessarily love doing, right? And I think a really good way to really think about it as I was putting this doc together is asking myself, yes, I might not necessarily enjoy sitting in front of the camera, filming myself talking and creating content, but is my dislike for filming in front of a camera greater than my desire to create wealth for myself and my family? And the answer is, it's obviously not, right? I want to make more money, and that is such a great goal, such a great desire, that my dislike for filming content is peanuts in direct comparison. And I want you to, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about things that you don't necessarily enjoy doing, I want you to keep in mind, yes, you might not enjoy doing it, but do those things actually help you make money? And if they do you dislike doing them so much that you would rather not make $10,000 per month if it means you're just sitting there not filming videos, right? I think that's a really meaningful question. And I think for most people watching this, the most logical answer is, if you knew you can make $10,000 a month by sitting in front of a camera and just talking about whatever it is that you're selling, I think that is a pretty decent trade-off for every single person, and 9 in 10 people would probably just take that, right? So now the next point is, a lot of things can actually be solved with a very simple Google and a very simple YouTube search. And learning how to problem solve is literally a skill. In fact, it's a pretty crucial skill in order to actually succeed. And the reason why is because success in business, success in entrepreneurship is not a formula, it's not linear. Where in school, back to the example of school, if you ever did math, there's literally only one right answer. If you were trying to solve a complex math formula, there's only so many ways to solve that formula to get to the right answer. But in entrepreneurship, that's not really how it works. There's always multiple ways to get to your desired outcome. If your goal is to sign your first client, everyone has a different way of doing that, right? I could share what I know works, what has worked for me, what has worked for all the people, for example, inside the Discord, but there are other ways that exist to sign your first client. Maybe there are ways that are better. There are ways that are worse. There's a bunch of different ways, a bunch of different roads that lead to the same outcome. And that's a very important thing. And just being able to problem solve is a very crucial thing, because all of the people who are actually succeeding, for example, they're working with me where I'm helping them start and scale the lead generation agency. On one hand, yes, I'm helping them answer all of their questions as they're building the business and they get stuck somewhere. They could obviously ask me, I'm a resource they can leverage. But on the other side, what I've noticed is the most successful people, they're not asking me questions that they could literally search online on Google. They're not asking me questions like, hey, how do I add a button onto this website? Because they could obviously just Google that and YouTube search that. They're literally 10 minutes away from figuring out on their own. The best and most successful people that I know, the type of questions that they ask me are insight-based questions. Hey, so here's the scenario that I have right now. Here are my options. Here is what I think. What do you think, Jimmy? This is what I'm stuck on right now. I've tried XYZ, boom, 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 boom. What do you think is the best way to answer this? Or what do you think is the solution for this? So my point being is, the most successful people, they have that element of problem solving. It's a skill that needs to be developed, and you will not make a lot of money. You will not succeed in business if you're just simply lacking the skill of problem solving. Now, the next point is uncertainty is always going to exist in business, and being comfortable with taking action, even if you're not 100% certain that you're executing the right thing, is absolutely crucial. Because I know for myself, there was a point when I was making $1,000 per month, $5,000 per month, $10,000 per month. Well, actually, I wasn't, because I literally went from 0 to 10K, right? That was literally what it is. But my point being is I went from 0 to 10K to 20K to 50K per month. And at each of those points, I was never truly certain that I know what I'm doing. Even till today, I don't exactly know for certain that the things that I'm doing will absolutely work. My goal is to scale my business to $100,000 per month. Every single day, I'm doing all of these things inside of my business. I'm not completely certain that those things will lead to 100K months. But again, leading me back to the original point of I'm just focusing on skills development. I understand that if I focus on understanding how to sell better, if I understand how to be better at marketing, how to do all of these different things, then it is pretty much unreasonable for me not to eventually get to $100,000 per month. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And understanding that uncertainty is always going to be there, and being able to just be comfortable with that fact that you will never ever be certain before you do something is a very important perspective to have in entrepreneurship. Now, the next point is what I've learned is you can either pay with time or pay with money. And I know when I was first starting my business, I was pretty much broke. In fact, I was actually in debt. So obviously it was hard for me to pay with money. So I had to learn with time. But knowing what I know now, if I could go back and let's say I had a little bit of money just lying around, I probably would have just found an expert, a subject matter expert at whatever it is that you're trying to do, and pay for that person's time to teach you to accelerate the journey. And this doesn't really matter what you're doing. This could apply if you are looking to start your own lead generation agency. Find someone who, like, for example, myself, is an expert who has hit 10K per month and beyond that to teach you how to get to 10K per month. Or if you're looking to play the piano, learn the piano and become an expert at piano. I don't know what the levels are and stuff like that, but let's say you're looking to become a master at piano. The quickest way you could do that is by finding someone who is an expert, a grandmaster at piano, and paying for that person to teach you how to play the piano. You could obviously go on YouTube and watch all of these different videos on how to play the piano, but you're gonna take 20 times longer to actually get good at piano versus just hiring a piano coach or even personal trainers, right? If you're trying to go to the gym and you don't know what you're doing, you could obviously go on YouTube and watch all of these videos on the best workouts, how many sets and reps you should lift, what are the best exercises to develop arms and biceps and stuff like that. And that was me when I was first working out at the gym. Or if you have some money, why don't you just hire a personal trainer who understands how all of this works, who could tell you what are the best exercises, the best workout splits, the best type of foods to be eating, right? There's a reason that personal trainers exist, is to cater to those people who are able to pay with their time. So my point being is whenever you're learning anything, whether this is learning how to build a business, learning how to play an instrument, learning how to exercise, to work out, to do anything, you could either learn by doing it yourself and failing over and over again and leveraging free resources, or you can shortcut that entire process and pay someone who's an expert to just teach you and shortcut your process, right? That's literally what it comes down to. And the final point is you will take L's on your journey. There's literally no ways around it. I know a lot of people, whenever they try to sell courses or they try to sell all of these other things, they kind of sell the course in a way where, hey, these are the L's that I taken. If you work with me, you're not going to take any L's and your entire journey is just filled with W's, which is filled with wins. And the reality is that's not going to happen, because on one hand, yes, you're paying an expert to shortcut the process on the most common type of problems, the most common type of L's that people take, like the low, just the most random L's that people just, most people just make a mistake at and get stuck at. But you will still take L's on your journey, and after a certain point, again, right, success isn't linear. There are just a bunch of different things that you will have to test. Even Spencer said it himself, right? I'm just gonna go back into the Discord, where even Spencer says it himself, where test, learn on repeat times 10. Keep testing, keep failing, keep learning again and again, right? Because that is what you need to do. If you want to win, you have to take L's. That's just the reality of it. And Mark Cuban actually has a quote, and he said, the beauty of entrepreneurship is you only have to be right once. You could take 10 L's and those L's could be pretty bad, but if you win once and you win big, that is the win that will carry your entrepreneurship journey for a lifetime. So that's basically this video that I wanted to put together. I kind of put this on a whim because there's just so many people inside the Discord that are just getting great wins, and it kind of inspired me to put together this video, mainly because of what Spencer said. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, make sure you drop me a like, make sure you drop me subscribe, and if you are looking to start your own lead generation agency, sign your first client, and scale to $10,000 per month in the next 90 days, and you want to pay for an expert to shortcut that process, then the first link in the description below is a link to set up a call with either myself or someone from my team to talk about how I could personally help you start and scale your own lead generation agency and make money similar to all the other people inside the Discord. But if that is not something you're interested in, or you want to just learn with your own time with free resources, then the second link is a link to a YouTube video I recently put together. It's a step-by-step course teaching you how to start your own lead generation agency. It's a free course on YouTube, but that's pretty much what I wanted to share in today's video. Hope you found it valuable, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.